Hi YouTube. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Miriam. This is my first YouTube video on my channel. Um, Actually, I've been trying to get on YouTube for a while, but I'm just like seriously so busy and everything. And so I figured, hey, I actually have time to do something. But I wanted to just talk about, how millennials can't even afford housing and everything like that. I mean, I own my house free and clear, okay, but it's kind of a fixer-upper, as you can see. Yeah, but yeah, I'm 42. Um, yeah, and we bought this house in 2016, and we bought it in cash. We don't have any mortgage or anything like that. Um, it's been, they're saying that millennials can't buy houses unless your parents help you, or unless, you got somebody in your family that's able to help you. Well, I didn't have anyone able to, nobody helped me. I was able to do it by myself. I mean, I would say it all started at 25. Um, I don't know, something in me said I needed to get serious, need to build a family or something. And so basically I just roomed it out for 5 years, saved up all my money. I think it was about 4 years, 4 or 5 years, roomed it out. And I think it was just 4 years. 4 years did roommates, and saved money. I mean, I was eating like dollar coffee, like the nasty dollar is like the little small, it's not even good. And the bagel with cream cheese, they were like $1 in New York City. And I was able to, climb up like that, as a teacher in New York City, and just save, scrimp. I mean, just scrimping, just totally scrimping. I eventually bought a loft when I was 29 years old. Long story short, I got married like 2 years when I, became a homeowner. Mortgage got a little, unsustainable because, once you become a motherhood penalty. Yeah, it's great. Oh man, one thing about motherhood, it turns you poor. It makes you poor. So like, if you're going to go down the route of motherhood, you just better have all your ducks in a row. So yeah, so then long story short, we were able to sell the condo that we had, and we didn't want to rent anymore because like, who wants your, landlady like stalking you every second, making sure like every second it's like no privacy, like completely hovering. And also we didn't want to rent because believe it or not, oh my God, to find a really good renter that's not trying to squat and I will never rent out my property again. I mean, unless it's like an Airbnb, I mean, I wouldn't trust these renters out here. I mean, for me, I went through that rabbit hole, and thank God I came out of it. Yeah, so then we had to like just, we didn't want a mortgage, because obviously it was unsustainable. We didn't want to be renters. We didn't want to rent out, and because people want to squat and not pay their rent for like a year, right? You go and you get your judgment, they're not paying, and you know what they do? They changed their name. They changed their names. That's what they do. Yeah, so they can keep renting, and I don't know how they do it, but there's like professional squatters out there. And so then, yeah, we bought a house in cash, and we've been living here for 9 years now. I mean, if we were going to sell this house, we would probably pay double what we paid. We'd probably get double. But then you think about it, you're like, oh wow, our house increased in value. Wow. You get so excited about it, right? And then it's like, okay, if we sell our house, where are we going to live? And so that's, a lot of people are stuck, and my thing is, I know everybody's jacking up the prices out here. I mean, believe me, it's all Fugazi. Okay. Fugazi, whatever. It's all fake. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody can afford housing at this point. Even if you make over $100,000, you can't even afford housing. So then, you know, sooner or later, those prices have to drop sooner or later, you know? I mean, it's inevitable. So, yeah, so we're just kind of like stuck. You know, I'm a mother of 6 kids. I have 6 children. And so, you know, like people are like, you know, how do we have kids? You know, the millennials, they're, oh, how do we have kids? You know, we can't afford kids. And fixer upper, I mean, scrimp and save and try to buy the cheapest house you can possibly find. I mean, seriously. You know, you guys want nice granite countertop, you want nice floors, you want the Instagram pinstripe, whatever house. That's not realistic at this point. So if you do want to have children and you're in the millennium, Gen Z, or whatever before millennium, you're gonna need to buy a little fixer and work it out. Yeah, sure, it comes with a lot of problems, but, you know, at the end of the day, we don't have a mortgage that's like, you know, hanging out over our heads, you know, and, okay, like, I know these hedge funds and can buy all of the properties and everything like that, and they can play Monopoly and monopolize the whole thing, but, you know, I don't know, I just feel like people could just live in their cars, you know, and then they'll try to be like, oh, it's illegal to live in your car, you know, like, I don't know. It's just going to get to a point where just people are just like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm whatever. Just do the whole car thing. But sometimes the car thing is not really reliable because, like, our car broke down. And so, like, can you imagine if that's all we had was our car and it broke down? I mean, we had to get a part. We had the, what it was broken down? The alternator. And we had to get the part from China. Yeah, I know. We drive a Dodge Caravan, and we had to get a part from China. We had to wait 6 months, and this is before the whole tariff war. We had to wait 6 months for a car part from China, just so we can fix our car. So I mean, living in your car. Oh, and then what happens when the alternator wants? You know what I mean? And then with the trade war, I don't know. Like, I don't know, it's just becoming increasingly happy, you know, I mean, increasingly harder, sorry. But at this point, you know, if you guys want to survive the Matrix, you gotta skimp. I know, it's hard. I mean, you gotta live in a smaller quarter, scrimp and save, and then get, you know, a fixer like that nobody wants. You know, those you can clear those out. Seriously. There's so many properties that nobody wants. They're just sitting there languishing. And those are the ones you're going to have to get. And I know it's hard for people to hear that because, you know, they want to call their landlord when, you know, something is broken. Or they want to call their landlady when something is broken. And, you know, you're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay for everything to be all perfect. You know, I'm hearing a lot of complaining, oh, the rent's too high. Well, you know what? Buy a fixer-upper and fix your own house. And then you'll see why the rent is so high. You know, like, you know, just as a landlord, you know, I paid so much money to take care of my property. And, you know, people are just living, you know, for free, and they're squatting, and, you know, they don't even care. And, you know, you can't even kick them out. You got to go through the court. You got to go through all these channels just to get your property back. And I mean, as a landlord, who wants that headache? I don't know, but I don't know. I just wanted to, like, just put it out there to the world that, you know, you can have a family, you can survive in this economy, but you're going to have to downsize, and you're going to have to not have granite countertops and really nice floors. I mean, seriously. And you might have to, like, you know, buy buckets of water. I don't know, like, I don't know how it is, but, like, you might have to, like, you know, struggle a little bit, but you don't have anyone on over your head. You don't have a bank over your head. You can lose your job and not really care. You know, I mean, think about it. You lose your job and you have a mortgage. It's a disaster. So, Yeah, I'm not trying to run these shows more than 10 minutes. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Okay. Bye bye.